You cannot step into your new life with an old identity. Guys, welcome back. Today, I talk about how I changed my life so fast that it feels like an identity shift. Okay, we are in the kitchen today with my background singer, Laila. And today we have a new one. Let's call her Mimi. I don't know. Okay, so I started this video with you cannot change your life with your old identity. When people ask me how I detach, this is really the shifts I made. This is the mindset. I wrote it all down for you. And this is one layer of it, okay? Because I believe that you are not stuck because of a situation. You're stuck because you keep waking up as the same person. Same thoughts, same feelings, same morning. And you can call this your life, but this is not your life. This is a pattern. And if you don't break it, you will repeat this again and again and again. So this is not about letting go of someone. This is about really coming back to yourself. And this is really what helped me when I struggled with anxiety. And everything I'm saying is not claiming that this will fix, but this is really what worked for me. I started to ask myself questions like, what is happening within my body? And that really helped me in order to understand what was happening instead of becoming what was happening, if that makes sense. When I understood this, I finally understood myself. And here is what is actually happening. Every time you think about them, the situation, the rejection, the version of your life that didn't go the way you planned, your body produces the same chemicals, the same feelings every time you think about that thing. And your body gets used to that. And that is not because you're weak, but because your body is doing its job. What is familiar feels safe, and it wants to feel safe. Even when it is hurting you, even when it is keeping you small, even when you already outgrown that version. So in my opinion, you are not attached to a person or event, you're attached to a feeling. And that feeling becomes your new identity. And you call this is who I am. But that is not who you are. That's a memorized version of you, a pattern, a repetition. And every morning you wake up and you repeat it. You're not living your life, but you are just running an old program. Imagine if I said to myself when I was struggling with anxiety every day, just this is who I am. This is who I am. No way I would record this video. No way I would travel the world again. I knew this is not who I am. I have to let go of all these running like patterns, belief within myself, because if you do what you always did, you will get what you always got. And that is where you get your key. That is where you have to change something from within. And here is how the loop works. Every thought you think creates a feeling. And then you feel the way you think and think the way you feel over and over again. And that loop becomes your personality. And your personality, my friend, creates your reality. So, as I said, if nothing changes within you, nothing changes around you. Not because God, the universe, is ignoring you, but because you keep sending the same signal. And that's how it works. And I believe that this is the part where most people get really wrong with detachment, because they think, I don't care, I don't feel anything anymore, I'm detached. But that's not detachment, because detachment is trust. If there is the only way I can describe detachment, maybe write it down. I'm gonna write it down. Detachment is trust. And then just breathe. That's it. Why? Because one, trust that what is yours does not require you to chase it. It's different than taking action. Chasing is a totally different energy. Trust that a closed door, it's not rejection, it is preparation. Let that land. And here is a beautiful example. My cat had surgery recently. She injured her paw. It's really sad. But after that surgery, all she wants is to go outside. So she sits at the door, looks at me like I'm the one holding her back, but I know something she doesn't. So if I open the door now, I will know she will hurt herself, like infection, slower healing, pain. So I keep the door closed. Not because I don't love her, but because I love her and I refuse to give her something that her current state would destroy or keep her in that same loop of healing. And this is the thing what you are not seeing. Sometimes God, the universe, is not denying you. God is protecting you from receiving something your current self would waste. So if a door is closed right now, stop knocking. You are not being rejected. You are being prepared. So how do you actually do this? The first shift that really helped me is I asked myself a question when I had a thought instead of believing it. Am I creating or am I repeating? That question alone changed a lot of things for me during the day. Because if you can name it, you can choose differently. So that's really one thing that really helps me. And then I also noticed something, because every time I felt the urge to check my life, my reality, to spiral actually, to go back into my head, I felt it in my body before I felt it in my mind. And instead of following it, I stayed. Not because it was comfortable, but because that moment, that is really where your power lives. The urge to reattach is an invitation to choose yourself again every single time. And then I realized something that really changed everything for me, because I stopped waiting for the life to make me feel safe, but I chose to feel safe first. Not because everything was perfect, not because I had proof, but because truth doesn't need proof. Because like peace is not a reward. Peace is practice. Like I've lived this with my anxiety over and over again. I had to retrain myself because I know every thought I reinforce shapes my brain. Like your nervous system learns what to expect. And over time, your body begins to respond differently, calmer, steadier, more aligned. And I believe that is not magical thinking. That is neuroplasticity. And honestly, I believe that that is what quantum jumping is. An identity shift so complete, your body stops running the old patterns. That's the jump, and I believe that's always been the jump. And one powerful tool is visualization. Okay, hard word, but I started visualizing being, peace, certainty, trust. Not the outcome, not the relationship, but the version of me who I thought I had to become, like the being, how to remember myself, because things follow states and not the way around. So I started to change the chemicals within myself by visualizing how it feels to feel safe, how it feels to feel relaxed, protected. And what I did, I used snippets from my past where I felt that peace. And I kept visualizing that to reinforce that feeling within my body. And the last powerful shift is I stopped asking, what do I need to receive? And I started asking, what do I need to release? What belief is keeping you attached to a version of yourself that no longer fits? One belief, go within, find it, and that's usually what it takes. And like I said, you cannot step into your new life with an old identity. And the moment you remember who you are, not who fear told you to be, not the rejection like convinced you to be, not the version of you that was shaped in the middle of someone else's story. The moment you remember who you actually are, you don't chase doors. Doors open for you whenever it's time, okay? So I always say, go deep within yourself to expand beyond what you can currently see and come back to yourself every single time. This is so powerful. I hope this will help you. When I started to do these things, I start understanding that it were patterns, body chemicals, and the old me trying to go back to what feels familiar. If you keep visualizing, meditating, I believe it reinforces like new patterns within yourself in order to attract a new reality. So I hope my video resonates. I hope this will help you in your way. Let me know if this shifted something within you. Let me know in the comments. If you want to stop repeating your old life and you want to return to who you actually are by remembering, this is your channel. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, and stay aligned until the next one. Bye bye.